Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Nelson, and I use the reference from the Department of Health Professionals, which is the Handbook for Practice of Professional Counseling Handbook that is for the state of Virginia. And what I found out to become a LPC, which is a licensed professional counselor in Virginia, the academic training and requirements that you would need to have a degree in CA, CREPT, or CORE. You would need to make sure that you graduated with the degree from that program that will help you to be able to practice counseling that is defined in the Code of Virginia from a university that is accredited by the regional accrediting agency. And they also, which meet the following criteria, which is the academic study, which is express the intent to prepare you to become a counselor, have an identical counselor training faculty, meaning being with that everyone that is teaching you is a licensed, a LPC faculty. Also, identifying the body of the students, having clear authority of what it is, and the responsibility for the core and specialty area. And additionally, the requirement requires you to have at least 60 graduate semester hours or 90 graduate quarter hours for the 13 core content areas. For what are the requirements for postmaster supervised clinical experience is that you must have 3,400 supervised residency in counseling practice with various populations like the clinical problems and theoretical approaches in the following areas, which will be assessment and diagnosis using psychotherapy techniques, appraisal and evaluation, and diagnostic procedure, treatment planning and implementation, case management and record keeping, professional counseling identity and function, professional ethics, and standard of practice. For what examinations are required. Once you complete the residency, you must submit your application and the required documentation to prove that you have completed that course, which I'm taking must be your diploma or your transcripts. And you will send all of that plus a money order or a check to the Treasurer of Virginia in the amount of $175 for the fee. And then once you're approved, you can go take the examination and obtain your licensure. Now, what is a licensure title? The licensure titles differ between the different laws. The most common ones would be licensed professional counselor, which is LPC, which we are doing now. Licensed mental health counselor, which is the LMHC, and licensed clinical professional counselor, the LCPC, and the licensed professional counselor, and licensed professional clinical counselor, which is the LPCC, and it's issued by each state regulatory board. For the licensed tier, state licensure is permission from a particular state government to practice counselor or identify oneself as a licensed counselor. Some states have a single license and some might have a two-tier. So again, it differs from state to state. So it depends on where you at, whether or not if you can do a tier. Now, the scope of the practice is which can and cannot do. You cannot be convicted of a felony or misdemeanor involving moral turpitude or violation of an aid to another in a violation any provision of Chapter 13 of the Code of Virginia and any other state applicable to the practice of professional counseling or any provision of this chapter. 2, procurement of license, including submission of an application or supervisory form. That you cannot have any fraud or misrepresentation of any of that documents. Making sure that you conduct in one practice in a manner such as making it dangerous to the health and welfare of your client or to the public. If you're unable to practice counseling with a reasonable skill and safety, clients of illness, abusive use of alcohol, drugs, and that nature, or any other type of material that will cause you to lose your license, and any intentional or neglect conduct that will injure or cause injury to clients or clients, performance of function outside the dismissal area of competency, failure to comply with competency requirements, which is continuing with your education, violating, abetting another person in the violation of provision of any state applicable to practice your counseling, or any portion of performance of likely deceive or fraud or harm the public. So basically, making sure that you are on the up and up, you're practicing your ethics, your code of ethics, and making sure that you're keeping your clients safe, making sure that you're practicing what is supposed to be practiced and you're not doing anything that is not supposed to be done. What if, so the miscellaneous stuff that I found in there that seems interesting to me was that to continue a license, you must continue the competency activity criteria. So you would have to complete a minimum of 20 hours of board-approved continuing competency during each annual license renewal cycle. And the renewal cycle is on or before June 30th of each year. And in addition, you must have a minimum of 2 hours in the courses that emphasize the ethics, standard of practice, or law governing behavioral science that professions in Virginia. So, it's a lot becoming a counselor. You have to make sure that you're upholding the laws as well as the code of ethics, because at any given time, if you're not doing something that it is not right and that you get reported, then you might lose your license. And then at that point, what is the point of you going to school at that time? You basically wasted all of your schooling for nothing, because you're now not able to do anything with that degree that you got. So I think this information is very crucial for the people in Virginia that are becoming getting their license in Virginia for the LPC. So during this course, I feel like that there is a lot of information to grasp as far as being licensed, but I believe that I can do it. So thank you.